Good morning, folks. Friday the 13th, indeed. We are good to go here. Good morning, folks. Yes, as you said, ELPW does seem to be moving here at the top of the hour, a little before it, actually. No news on this exact moment. Good morning, David. Now, I assume I'm not even able to short this, but I can go ahead and check. Yeah, I'm not even able to short this. Not surprised. There I am. Yeah. TPC. Interesting how this one played out. So this would have been a winner because I would have covered here. Interestingly, it just kept topping out here. Good morning, no thanks. Good morning, Carl. You're looking at it at 462. Doggone it. Well, doggone it. Looking at it right as it was breaking out, huh? Right before. Yeah, looking at the gap scanners today, looking slow. But we'll see, right? It looked slow yesterday, and it did pick up around, what, around an hour and a half in? So, I mean, it could certainly pick up again. It is Friday, so I'm not expecting as much action. But I will be pleasantly surprised if we do see something. Yeah, the daily chart on this stock is horrid. Right, within the last year, this thing has been up at 10,000. So this thing is just reverse split hell. Good morning, Chris. Hope you're all doing well here. Yeah, looking at the other stocks on the gap scanner, this one actually had some action pre-market. So right at 4 o'clock, this popped up. Yeah, Friday the 13th, indeed. Yeah, there's like nothing running right now. Yeah, looking at our stocks from yesterday, seems like nothing's really moving so far pre-market today, really in either direction. I'm kind of wondering if I should keep ATPC because this is a stock that's run recently the last several days, right? Yeah, this one kind of based out and then made another leg. So I might keep this one on watch, but I think I'm going to get rid of all the others. Yeah. Yep, looking like a slower day. Typical in this kind of market, it seems like. I was surprised that Ross said that he only traded one stock. Considering how many stocks were moving yesterday, I was expecting him to be more engaged, but he just, I mean, well, to be fair, right, I did identify that a lot of stocks were only popping up like 10, 20, 30%. Like they weren't really going beyond 30% for the most part. ISPC. This one's a penny stock. Good morning, Soul. Good morning. Woody nail 9 grand yesterday. Yeah. Good morning, Jeff Beach. Good morning, sir. Oh, what did he nail? Okay. I think it was ATPC. I can double check, but I think that's what, I think he bought this one. And like, I think this was one of the better performers too. Just with how much it moved. It was probably the best return you were getting. I can check real quick. Yeah, ATPC. Yeah, so he traded this yesterday. Yeah, what did he nail? That's what I said. I nailed red. Yeah, it seems like he bought this one. Right, there were a lot of stocks that moved yesterday, but he didn't really jump on any of them. Like I said, a lot of them are moving slower, so I'm not really that surprised, but yeah, I mean, he seems like he's doing a lot better in March, right? I don't think, is he, no, I think he's had a red day, but it's been much less. Put out a poll here for those of you guys that are still here. I haven't asked this kind of question here before. Okay, so DJ made 200 yesterday. Surprisingly, Candy didn't even trade, which surprised me. I thought he would have just been kind of jumping in and out, but no, he was pretty disciplined yesterday. You like to see it. Last month he made 320. Last week 630 red. This week 400. What happened last week? Was it like one big losing trade, or was it just a bunch of small instances where just things weren't working for you? Okay, it looks like a lot of people did good last week. 57, or not last week, yesterday. Yeah, 57% green. 14% no trades. I didn't win a single trade last week. Yeah, that is how it is, right? Trying to think like how often. This was something I was thinking about yesterday. If you remember, like with this stock even, ATPC, I made the judgment call not to short this. I would have shorted it here at the yellow line, and it would have been a winner. I would have made about how much? So 6, I don't remember exactly what it was. We'll just say 635. It might not be exactly that. I actually have the, okay, 634. So 634 is where I would have shorted. I would have ended up covering, let me go to 1 minute. So I would have covered, we'll just say around here, because somewhere between here and here is where I would have covered. So we'll just say the middle. So 552. I would have taken half size on this. So roughly 80 cents with 4 shares. So we're looking at maybe $3.20 I missed out on yesterday. Now, what I would ask, because this is the question I was asking yesterday, was this paranoia or was this intelligence? And what I would also say is, how many times have I dodged losing trades? Because there have been several instances, right? It's the seen versus the unseen. How many times was I thinking about a trade and I said no because my system said no, and I ended up getting saved for that? And when I thought about it like that, the answer is a lot. There were a lot of times where I pulled up stocks, and you've heard me say it, I pull it up and I say right away, I'm like, no, this doesn't meet my criteria. Like, I can tell immediately because the daily chart's wrong, or the way the stock is moving is wrong, the catalyst is too strong. Like, there's things that invalidate it. And for me to just simply say, based off of this one instance, like, oh, well, this is one where I had a false positive, that's, I mean, it's just a data, it's just a number thing. And so you say you had no single winning trades last week. What I would ask was that a you problem, like execution wise? Was that just the market wasn't resolving the way you expected? I guess that'd really be my question. 0-12 on trades last week, it looks like. Yeah, losing 12 in a row, like, I mean, it could just be variance. It could just be the colder market. It could be you, like, that's, and I'm not assuming any one of those. Like, it's probably at least one of those, but you would know better than me which one of those it is. And I appreciate you telling me that too, because whenever I only take like 2 or 3 trades in a week, like I've taken 2 trades this week. And it can feel pretty disheartening to know that I'm not trading very much. But when I remind myself that most people lose money, and the fact that I even made like, what? I made like a little less than $3 yesterday, and I made a little over $4 on Monday. So I made like $7, $8, something like that. Probably closer to 8. And I made $8 with 8 shares. Like that's pretty powerful when you think of it like that. And yeah, I got to remind myself to stay on the straight and narrow and to trust what I've done. Trust the research that I've done, trust the back testing. Execute the best of my ability the strategy. And what I would also say is, if I start to experience losses, it could be part of the system, but because my system is supposed to be high accuracy, if I start to experience like 50% loss rates, at that point, I would need to step back and say, what's going on? Is there something that I have misunderstood? Because I have different models, like if the market is cold, I need to trade in a certain way. I need to short in a certain way. When the market is hot, I need to short in a certain way. So right now, the market's colder, so I'm shorting in a certain way. If the market remains cold, but my shorting isn't working, then I would need to reflect and say, am I executing wrong? Or is maybe the market changing? Like, I've identified the correct state of the market, but what works has changed. All right, and that's something too, like, we might look at it sometimes where we're like, okay, cold market do X, hot market do Y. But the reality is X might only work for so long. And that's kind of the thing that we don't like to admit to ourselves. It's like, we just like to think if we just learn the process and we just do this process rigidly, we'll make money. But I don't really subscribe to that. Just ran through them. Looks like most were bad tickers, but looks like 3 were execution issues. And I would push you, and you don't have to tell me, right? Because it's your strategy, and I know you want to keep it to yourself, of course. But I guess just for you, you would want to ask, when you say most were bad tickers, were these, what does that mean, right? Would this be something that you shouldn't have traded and you did? Like, because that's something that should have been flagged. And you say 3 were execution issues. And I can't even talk, right? Because on the trade I took on Monday, it was an execution mistake, right? So, should have been a bigger winner. But, so yeah, I can't even, like, I'm not trying to, like, stand on a high ground or anything. I'm just saying what I think about. Proton says, 1 red, 4 green last week. 1 green, 3 small reds this week. Yeah. Yeah, we had like 1 good day this week. And I guess yesterday was okay. We had like 1 okay day, 1 kind of good day, and then the other 2 days were just cold. And it's looking like today might be cold too. Man, ELPW just kind of popped up and now it's just giving it back. Everything is an execution issue. That's right. It's always me. Yeah. Yeah, I get you. Just meant that for my strategy, how they played out, I was never going to win them. Well, I mean, wouldn't that classify as an execution mistake then? If they weren't ever going to work out and that's something you could have flagged and you traded them, like, I would classify that as an execution mistake, right? Because it's something that you made the incorrect judgment call on something. It's kind of the same thing as saying, like, I buy X when X happened. I buy X when Y happens, but Y didn't happen. All right? You bought Z happened, and then you did X. So I would argue that's an execution mistake. And I say mistake lightly because, like, again, we'll go back to my other example. ATPC. Was this an execution mistake? Right? Because there were some signals firing saying that this is dangerous. Right? This showed too much strength the last time it moved. So seeing it doing a continuation, even though a lot of my signals were firing to say short this, I made the judgment call that was don't trade it. And is that an execution mistake? It was something I planned. And I mean, realistically, it comes down to judgment at the end of the day, right? You're in contempt of your strategy. Well, I mean, the strategy always needs to be scrutinized, right? If you become rigid with your way of thinking, then you fall behind. Like, things change and you get left behind. I mean, they had green flags to try them, and they just, like, went up, and I'm short. So the way I see it is that I choose the wrong ticker. Variance. Okay, I mean, yeah, and that's very different, right? Like, variance is totally a thing. Like, so there's one thing to say the stock didn't work because it didn't meet my criteria. It's another thing to say the stock did meet my criteria. It was just bad variance. Right? I think those are different things. 98%? What's 98%? No, I get what you're saying now, though. No thanks. That makes sense. Yeah. I just misunderstood. Oh, 98% lose money. It's up there. It's very, very high, right? There's a very popular study. I think it was done in like Taiwan or something. I think they said like 95% of day traders, and we're talking about day traders, right? Swing traders, investors. If you just invest in the general market, like in the SPY or in just well-performing stocks, like your odds of success are way higher, right? The problem is, and why people do day trading instead of swing trading, is swing trading takes very, very long, right? Investing takes very, very long. Day trading, you might double your money in 10 minutes. But yes, absolutely. Most people, vast majority of people lose money. And it's not even an internal personal problem. It is not an execution mistake. It is not a system where the user made a mistake. It is that the system is set up specifically to disincentivize people from trading rapidly in the market, right? You're crossing the spread, you're paying commissions. There are things that are working against you that cause you to lose money regardless. Like if you have a neutral strategy, if you have a strategy that doesn't even lose money, you will lose money, which is crazy. You could have a strategy that slightly works and you lose money. Right? I did the Lightspeed account, and both of my months on there, I was gross positive. I made like, I don't remember how much exactly. I could be off, but I think I made like almost 200 gross profit, and I ended up net negative. I might be a little off on that. It's been a while since I've looked at the numbers, but I went from gross profitable to net negative. There is institutional support for ELPW at 548. Well, if there's support there, then why aren't we at 548? Or where do you come up with institutional support from? Man, it is a slow day, though. Oh my god, it is slow. Watching. Okay, that's not really an argument, but fine. If you don't want to... You have your secrets. Okay. Okay. So you're saying, okay, I mean, if you want to make a prediction, so you're saying it's going to go up to 548? Want me to make a line? I'll call this the even line, or the Jeff line. I just want a straight line. 548. I'll mark it out for you. This will be your line. This will be the even line. Can I write text? Or the Jeff line? Okay, can I like... Yeah, here we go. I need to change the font. Or the size. There we go. That's my glorious strategy timing. Okay, so I went from institutional support to glorious strategy. Okay. Yeah, all your feeds are quiet. Mine are too. Like, my gap scanner's cold. I'm not seeing anything firing on my momentum scanners. It's just cold. Looking like a slower final date of the week. Yeah, we will see if the Jeff line comes to fruition. Someone coming in here is going to be like, what the heck is this? Why is there just... What is the Jeff line? This is the support line, guys. It's the Jeff line. It's a fundamental indicator. You should use it on your charts if you're not already. I have 4 feeds open up on the other computer and I hear nothing. Yeah, I mean, I can show you too. Like, so here's my momentum scanner. It's cold. Here is my continuation scanner. It's cold. Like, there is absolutely nothing moving for me right now. And even the gap scanner. Like, gap scanner, barely anything. So, yeah, it is ice cold today. I'm so honored. We'll have to do something for you if it gets up there and gets above it. Because we'll be like, Jeff, this is Jeff's move, right? If it gets back up there and breaks up, this is Jeff's move. Okay, we have more people that have polled now. Yeah, so 32% no trades yesterday. That's actually kind of high, considering how many things moved. I'm surprised that there was that many no traders. 32%. And I don't mean to call it early. And I mean, certainly something could run here. But it just feels like today's going to be a non-eventful day. Oh, my Jeff line kind of gets messed up depending on where I'm looking at it from. Yeah, it doesn't really match up well when I zoom in at certain levels. Like the Jeff line goes into the line. What if I do it like above it? I'll just do it like that. That way it doesn't overlap. Oh, we got kids. Kids moving. Okay, this one's very poorly trending stock. Let's see, 270 is where it popped. Pretty big move, honestly. Yeah, 20% on the first candle. Very impressive pop. This has a history of making a pop recently. Went up about 100%. What is the news? Announced a strategic robotics education collaboration with Wallmaker to expand AI. Okay, honestly, not really that crazy a catalyst to me. Looking at the chart, I mean, it's very under right now. Yeah. Only 40,000. Insufficient shares. Okay, let me pivot over. See if I can enter it on Thinkorswim. Okay, no shares available in Thinkorswim either. Gotcha. All right, so this was just one I wasn't gonna be able to short it no matter what. Okay. So my first order would have gotten hit there. My order was going to be at 378. So I would be short right now if I was able to. And I did try both, right? I tried Weeble and Thinkorswim. Neither one gave me. Interesting how this first major move happened on such light volume. This reads to me as overextended here, but we'll see. Maybe it gets bigger, follow through. I mean, to be fair too, it looks like this is a lighter float. So the fact I couldn't find shares really shouldn't be that surprising in hindsight. Looking at the prospectus, though, they had a very recent one, March 5th. So very recently they had a prospectus put out for this stock. Yeah, 920,000 shares. Every time I've traded my kids, they've rented me. May of 25th and also just this month. I would be getting a little spooked though, right about now, right? This is up 40%. I would have been short here at 378. Kids has decent volume. It has decent volume now, but it didn't when it spiked, right? There's a pretty big volume, right? There's a fair value gap here. This only had 47,000 volume, and it went from 260 up to 330 on just 47,000 shares of volume. That's super, super low volume. This catalyst doesn't read to me as that significant, and the daily chart on this is horrible. So, and also there's a very recent prospectus. So there's a lot of reasons this should not work. Right, if I was in here 378, I don't know. I mean, I would feel somewhat comfortable. I understand it's consolidating here and it might make an extra leg, but it does feel top heavy to me. I found that fair value gaps work much better on futures than stocks. Do you agree? It's hard to say. I used to use them on futures as well, so I know what you're talking about. I would say in the niche of what I'm doing specifically, fair value gap is more relevant. Using them just in general on stocks is not good. Or not to say they're not good, but I didn't find much of a correlation But I feel like the correlation's a lot stronger in these instances. It's even more big whenever you get these kind of gaps on no volume, right? 47,000, you look at this candle volume, it's actually way smaller relative to all these candles, but it's even worse whenever you see like the majority of the move happen on low volume, and then like the final two candles, you just get like 100,000. That's typically where it becomes very rug pully. Kids is the only thing you're watching, but $4 is a scary area for longs. It does look like there's some resistance around $4, certainly. In its defense, though, it's holding pretty well here, right? You've got a pretty tight range. It just kind of popped up and now it's holding this range. So in its defense, it's holding up well. Right, high volume on both of these candles. Kids, 370, nice support. Yeah, it seems like it's acting as pretty good support. It did break below it hard, but it immediately recaptured. Yeah, around like 370, 365. Seems like it's holding pretty decent. Some collaboration news headline. Yeah, it's just a collaboration news. And they sprinkled in AI to spice it up. Where would I have added? I would have added at 405. Did we hit 405? No. We almost did. We hit 4. So I'm just paper trading it now to see how it would have went. This is the only thing on the scanners at all. Like, there's not even anything else remotely worth watching. So that could work in kids' favor here, right? The fact that there's nothing else being looked at could result in more tension going here. I'm still underwater right now. My average, yeah, I didn't get to add, so I'm only holding, or I would have only been short 8 shares at 378. So I'd be basically break even right now. And I don't really like that it's holding up this well. I feel like anyone short would be getting kind of spooked right about now. Right, this hasn't just immediately rolled over. Okay. Announce a strategic robotics education collaboration. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was saying here. All right, I have it on the breaking news thing. I had 375, 385. There's a big resistance in kids. Looks like your resistance level's playing out. Yeah, it's definitely struggling to get through that. I mean, I'd be up about 28 cents a share right now, so it's looking good for me, and you're seeing 3 candles of higher volume. I'd be feeling a little more confident now. Did I say 8 shares? Yes. Yeah, we're only doing 8 shares right now with this strategy. It's still very low size. I started with 1 share, increased it to 8 shares. FRSX, looks like it's moving. Okay. I think I'll go for this. Wow, okay, so between the time I was deciding if I wanted to go for it or not, it ran out of shares. All right, let me check Thinkorswim, see if I have any hopes of salvaging a position here. I don't think I've ever had that happen before on Webull. I might just be rolling over anyway now, but nonetheless. Yeah. Okay, so that was an instance where I was just slightly too slow. Very interesting. I've never had that happen yet. So I pulled up the order to place it, but before I submitted the order, I was just double checking to make sure it was a stock I wanted to be in. And in that probably 30 seconds I was checking, it ran out of shares. It may even be worth, I mean, this was kind of an edge case, but it may even be worth, as long as the price isn't near my short area, it might be just worth throwing it out there and then looking at the news and deciding if I should cancel the orders. As long as the price isn't immediately going towards it. Wow. And to be fair, too, I pulled this up a little bit late. So there is that as well. I would have shorted at 390. It didn't get there anyway, so even if I was able to place the orders, I would not have filled. Feel slightly robbed from this trade, not gonna lie. Not able to place the shares right away. Yeah, so here I would actually end up pivoting now, because this is holding here on lighter volume on the pullback. Oh, this one was pretty heavy, though. Yeah, so it's a bit mixed. It's not super black and white. Kids in free fall now. Yeah, so kids looks like it might be rolling over. Possibly because FRSX drew the attention away. I mean, they're both kind of failing, though. Daily looks really bad. Yeah, really, really bad daily chart for FRSX. Basically just straight down. No real historic pops. Like, this is a short seller's dream. Realistically, maybe, I don't know. I'm not going to say I regret taking a little bit longer. I think it's more so just this is a, maybe it's a lighter locate stock. And I did find it a few minutes late, right? Because this was almost no volume at the time, right? This was like 20,000, 10,000. This didn't come up on my scanner. This came up on Zendu. So if I was giving more focus to Zendu and I would have seen it there sooner, maybe I could have reacted, but it's not a big deal. I wouldn't have got filled anyway, so it's not like there was any money lost. Yeah, it's crazy though. Like, I was able to pull it up to put the short order. I took 30 seconds to think about it, and then when I placed the order, I lost my queue. That's crazy. Never had that happen. FYI, I found some great information for your members on Discord. What kind of information, sir? Do tell. Any trade ideas, users, kids in FRSX aren't showing up on my scanner. I don't know why. Yeah, I mean, they showed up on my scanners. This one took longer just because the volume was way too light. My momentum scanner wasn't picking it up, so I'm looking for at least 50,000 volume. Ooh, wow. Oof. Managed to squeeze 22 cents out of kids. You might want to reword that. I'm just kidding. Happy to bail way before it failed. It's choppy out there. I mean, more than just choppy. This looks just like a straight up rug. That's nasty. 50-cent drop. 340 down to 288. That's more than a 50-cent drop. Not showing up on your scanner either. I don't know. It was showing up for me, right? Like even now on my continuation scanner, it's showing up. It's not on the Momo scanner for me now because this is no longer making new highs, but yeah. It showed up on both of my scanners. It just took a little longer because of the volume. So I'm not sure about trade ideas specifically. Should have checked out my wording there. Yeah. I'm just messing. They both meet your scanner criteria. Very odd. I don't know. For Thinkorswim, they showed up for me. Man, this thing gave back the whole move. You hate to see it. And I would have had a short order at 390. Wouldn't have got hit anyway. Dead market. Yep. Honestly, emphasis might come back to kids because of this. Right? Kids sold off the moment FRSX came up. And since FRSX died immediately, there might actually be attention that shifts back to this. It's already looking like it might be curling. We'll see. I'm happy we had two stocks that moved, but yeah, this one went up what? I mean, this one did make a bit of a move, right? Right, 260 up to $4. I mean, that's actually a pretty solid move. Right, that's like 35, 40%, something like that. FRSX. I mean, I don't know how to think of this one, because the thing is this one had no volume when it started, right? The first three candles were 2,000 volume, 12,000 volume, 26,000, right? And then you had 96,000 and then the 100,000. So like the first three candles were super, super low volume, and they moved. Like this is kind of that value gap I was talking about. All right, you have this big jump up on no volume. The high volume comes in at the top and then it rolls over. So this would be more textbook of what I'm looking for with the value gaps. Okay, kids may be rolling over anyway. Yeah, just a really crappy day in general, it feels like. We'll see if the top of the hour does anything better for us. I mean, today, like, what's the best I had today? Today, the best was if I would have placed my order maybe 20 seconds faster here, I could have had an order at 390 that would have missed by 17 cents. So that's the closest I was to taking a trade today. So I wasn't super close. Right? It's an if, then an if, then a. It didn't move enough anyway. So unlike yesterday with SPRC where, what was it? Where it did this, I was literally 3 cents from this, and then this would have probably been a full-size winner. What do you guys think? You think it's slow Friday or it's a slow Friday? Oh, you guys think it's a slow Friday too? I see. I was up early, actually. I thought it was real slow. But now I'm just wondering if it's in my scanner the whole time. No, I mean, it's been slow. It is worth flagging, like, if I'm ever finding stocks, and that's part of why I use Zendu too, right? Zendu is kind of like a kind of reality check for me. So I have my scanners, right? I got two scanners. I got, well, technically three. I got my gap scanner, I got my continuation scanner, and I got my momentum scanner. And I rely on them. But I use Zendu for two reasons. First of all, just to confirm my scanners are working, but also to see if my scanners are missing things. Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying you should use Zendu, but just like, I would seriously consider, no thanks, I would seriously consider finding some other service provider, whether it's free or paid or whatever, just to kind of cross-reference to make sure you're not missing things. Like, I know you say you're like paranoid about it now, and I mean, it's a valid thought to have. So yeah, I would strongly recommend, not financial advice, I would, if I were you, I would try to find another provider to cross-reference to make sure my scanners are working. Shiro and FlipFlop have great discussion yesterday afternoon. They're very willing and to freely share quality ideas. Yeah, I do appreciate it. They do. We've had some good talks in there, me and FlipFlop. Shiro's newer, but yeah. I've been backtesting some of their ideas. I've had some very promising backtesting results so far. Well, keep at it, sir. Yes, I mean, I've found some strategies that work. If I found them, then I'm fairly confident that you and other people can too, right? Because I'm not some genius or anything. I'm just a normal person. AIFF is popping up and maybe immediately dying. Now this one popped up recently. Announces delivery or discovery of new brainwave biomarkers for differential diagnosis of ADHD. Also, they sold 1.5 million units at 150. So they diluted and it got bought up, which is interesting. Let's see. Am I able to short this one, senor? I am. It's a high borrow rate, though. All right, let's adapt in real time. The price isn't near where I'm shorting yet, so we're just going to throw these orders out immediately. And if this wants to curl up to me, then we can make a more informed decision if we want to keep them. Or rather, once I get the orders out. But I just want to make sure the orders are out first. And that might be a better way to go about it, just to get a little bit less time in here. Right, because I've got like 50 cents price target anyway. Yeah, so you got some resistance up around here around 240s, 250s. More resistance up around 310. If this is even going to curl, like this could just immediately roll over. And the captain. I forgot Fox Runner. Fox Runner. I recognize the name, but it eludes me. Yeah, I mean, this one, we'll see. Maybe it'll grind up. It has been a multi-day runner. I don't like how it's just immediately kind of like not pushing the highs, and it's on higher volume. Not really what I'd want to see. All right, well, got a little bit of a spike at least. Interesting history with this stock too. It's only recently, from like October, that it really experienced this breakdown. Before that, it was kind of more incremental. WTO popping. What the heck is this stock? This looks disgusting. Yeah, Chinese stock. Yeah, I don't like this setup. I'm not going to go for it. BIAF is also popping. Okay, so it looks like earnings for BIAF. Yeah, a lot of volume coming in on the push down. I'll go ahead and posture for this one. We'll see. So I have AIFF and BIAF. Those are the two I have active right now. Still got a ways to go for this one. And I just don't trust WTO. This one, very suspicious price action on a lot of these. Just the way that this popped up so high on only 30,000 volume. This just has the potential to run too much. So I need to avoid this one. Okay, BIF getting some good volume there. A huge amount of volume inflow. Very impressive. Is it actually going to fill me on this pop? We're actually getting close to my order. I didn't think it would do it in one push. All right, well, we're short. Let's see it. I really didn't think it would pop straight up there. Very impressive. Deep breaths, folks. We're in for a big one here. Yeah, no, incredible volume on these last two candles. ACXP also moving. This one's a recent popper, though. Probably don't want to mess with it. Yeah. I'm happy to see this drop on highish volume, but these first two candles were still more volume than even this pullback. This pullback is honestly looking bullish. This is lower volume on this. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me if it pops here. Micro pullback, please. I think I'm sweating. No, this one's definitely tensing around here. I mean, I think this one's bullish, right? And since I'm short, it's probably not great for me. Yeah, I don't like how quickly I got filled here. Yeah, this volume too is lower, right? Lower volume on this consolidation, higher volume on the push-up. Looks more bullish to me than bearish. I don't like that I'm here. but we'll see. Another pullback, but it's not super high volume. Hmm. Level 2 is a bit thick. A bit thicker than I would have thought. Yeah, good volume coming in there on the pop-up. Got out 18 bucks. I still think it's going higher. Hope I'm wrong. It usually does when I get out, so be careful. Oh, you're right. The proton bullish indicator. When proton exits the position, the stock goes up. Oh, crap, you're right. Oh, wow. ACXP, though. What a dump. Nasty. Hmm. Always seems to leave money on the table and hold my losers too long. Yeah, I mean, in hindsight, we all do, though. You can't ever do a trade perfectly. It seems to really be ranging around here, though. ADTX popping up. This is a notorious one for selling off. Man, just immediately pops up 50 cents and back down. It says only 200,000 shares on Thinkorswim, but that's probably not true. Man, what just pops in a... Oof. Oh, disgusting. Very back and forth. BIF still consolidating. High volume this whole time. See if we get a further breakdown or not. DEVS. DVS also kind of popping. It's a cheaper stock though. It's right at $1. Has been downtrending lately. You've had a couple pops up here though. You're in at 140, got out at 158. What, for BIF? So you got in here. You got out at 158. I mean, that's still, that's a huge capture. Honestly. Devs just immediately rolled over. Yeah. See, why can't I catch stuff like this? I'm stuck getting caught in things like BIF, I guess. Yeah, I'm still bullish on it. Yes, BIF, yeah. F. Yeah, BIF, yeah. This one would have been a nice one to catch the reversal, because I did get to full size, but it's looking strong. Mm. 9% on BIAF. 9% of what? Yeah, getting huge volume on this too. Yeah, no, I mean, this checks out with what I was expecting. Yeah, see, there it goes, yep. Yeah, we're pretty close to my stop now, too. I mean, we'll see, but it's looking like it's probably gonna hit. If I would have held, you would have made money. I don't know. This seemed like just a setup that was too strong. Let's see, are you gonna stop me out? Oh, don't tease me. If you're gonna kill me, just kill me. I think everybody's trading the same stock. It seems like people have been jumping around. This seems like the one that's held up the best, though. Right, even on these pullbacks, the volume was lighter on these breakdown areas. That's why I was getting worried. Thick as a brick. Yeah, it is being traded very thickly. Yeah, it's the leading gator, and that 5-minute chart is strong. No, it looks strong, certainly. And like I said, the pullbacks are also good for it. I still think it has another leg in it. It's literally breathing on my stop now. All right, there was 87. You did well with ISPC. Wow, Devs had a huge spike back up. That one just completely capitulated and then spiked back up to 110. You're up $2 today. I've sized down to 100 shares. Well, hey, you're doing better than me. I still think it's going to blow up here. Like it's been holding up here at these higher ends. This feels like it has a third leg in it. Yeah, even on this pullback, the volume's been light. Yeah, I still like I still like the profile. You had this pullback on lighter volume. $20 million buy, 3 sell. You're like saying 20 million buyers, 3 million sellers? What do you mean with those numbers? Can I talk about my strategy? I can give some more details in a moment. I want to see if this stops me out though, because I'm pretty close to the stop. It was within 2 pennies on these 2 ticks here. But it is a shorting strategy. This is the first red day. It's looking like it's going to be 2. This thing's just teasing me. And what I'm worried now is like, is it just going to blow through me? Make me have to chase it on the stop? Because it could. The whole heat map's red just about. Oh, it's like spying everything down today. I mean, SPY's up. From yesterday, anyway. Yeah, I'm pretty much at time limit here, too. So it doesn't matter if this is going to break down or not. Strategy calls that I cut it. See, it's tempting to just want to hold longer. Yeah, my strategy says to cut it. I gave it the 30 minutes that I allot. If it goes down from here, because I do like that we're breaking down, but I hit max time for that trade. But yeah, Yusuf, if you're still here, which I don't blame you if you're not, but it's a shorting strategy where I'm looking for stocks that I think have potential to roll over, and I'm mostly just trying to short for a mean reversion for them. Right, with this one had a very poor daily chart. The news didn't seem too phenomenal. I may have just been mistaken on that. And yeah, I was trying to short into strength, looking for the correction. Notably, I was identifying here that I was more bullish, and I was worried that these pullbacks were on lighter volume. But yeah, I was 2 cents away from max loss up here. Right, I was looking at 189 for max loss. Yeah, those thickly traded stocks will have you waiting too long. Yeah, it is what it is. What was the lowest I could have got? I could have got 63, but yeah. So sorry to see you red. No, it's fine. It's gonna happen. Like, statistically, and I mean, this is actually brilliant how well it lines up. My statistics say that I should have my accuracy should be about 85 to 90% win rate, right? This is the 8th trade. I am now 7 out of 8 trades green, right? So that 7 out of 8 winners lines up with roughly 85% win rate. It was gonna, put it this way, it was going to happen. It was not a matter of if, it was a matter of when. And today we have experienced the when. Yeah, you're still here. Honestly, I just go for trades that'll resolve within seconds. Holding too long just makes me overly anxious. Well, because I'm looking for a mean reversion, I'm anticipating the stock will revert. I don't regret it all covering my strategy. I really wanted to hold this longer, but my strategy says we've tested holding up to 30 minutes, and you need to sell within those 30 minutes. terrible resolution on the cheapos like that, though. We've seen some stocks hold up, but I think most of them have been acting strange, like DEVS even. This one's very strange. Right? You popped up, you dumped, you fully recovered. So very, very weird action. And even during this period here, right? The volume was non-existent. I suppose in some ways I'm glad that I had the loser, right? The longer I went without having a loser, the more tension there was going to be. Is the next one going to be a loser? My strategy works best if I hold between 1 minute and 3 minutes. Anything longer doesn't work. Anything in that time frame makes me money 70% of the time. I mean, that's a good win rate. 70%. Yeah, very interesting how we just kind of popped up here. And we just ended up holding. I'll definitely go ahead and look over this. I think I understand the situation. I don't know if it was really avoidable. The biggest thing would be is that it's earnings, but this company has bad earnings. The earnings didn't seem that impressive. Good thing is if the market is hot, I can keep stacking these high probability wins. So it's extremely low drawdown and consistent. You love to see it. Still waiting on the day that I get that really, really big home run winner too, because we haven't had that yet. I've had a lot of smaller winners, but I haven't actually captured. I haven't captured it where the stock pops up, it goes short, and then it does like a full 100% retracement. I've yet to capture one of them. Ah, yes. The Jeff line. Yeah, I guess I'm mostly just waiting here. When was the PDT rule supposed to be lifted? April? I don't think they've decided on anything yet. Yes, the difference between buyers, sellers. What are you talking about? I guess I should be thankful too, because I didn't even hit the full loss. Right, I was like 2 cents away. So the fact that I even got a little bit of this back, I should be thankful for it. Craziness will unravel once that rule has lifted. Yeah, definitely. The fact that people will just be able to start throwing like $2,000 accounts at something. Yeah. Algos plus 200% more retail stock traders. Yeah, there's going to be a lot more. I think it's going to increase volatility. Right? You're lowering the threshold for people to get involved. I think it'll be a very big game changer. Yeah. No PDT rule will be so much easier to cut losers quickly. And yeah, even with BIAF, for example, like I would have wanted to take some profit off at one of these areas because I was up like $4 at one point. But I can't really do that with only having 3-day trades. You know, I got to hold the whole trade. Can't wait for every single freaking trade to uptick instantly the moment you get in. These markets are the best. Need to size up for that massively. I mean, your drawdown would also be very high, but yeah. Markets are down today. Are they? I mean, I saw SPY. I thought it was like flat to slightly green. Yeah, SPY's up. So I know that SPY isn't the entire market, of course, but generally, like, I would assume that markets shouldn't be down that much. Lots of inexperienced traders will still hold for massive losses. Yeah. And I'm also worried about people who will, like, I'm wondering what leverage is going to be like for the accounts, right? Are they going to offer leverage? Because if so, people might take leverage and they might hold large losses and blow up $2,000 accounts. Right? Treat them like prop firm challenges. Not really, because the upside on continuation in pre-market is to the long side. And pre-market to the long side will be so much greater than any regular loser that goes against you. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not exactly sold on that. MEHA popping up. It's another penny stock. Not really interested in this one. So what happened this week? 3 trades, 370 loser, 270 winner, 416 winner. So I made like $7, lost like $3.70. Got to make another loser to wrap it up. So in hot markets you get in, it doesn't work, you lose 10, 20, 30 cents. If it does work, it explodes 50 cents in your favor or more in seconds. Risk reward is skewed massively when momentum and volume is back. I still disagree with you, Tristan, because it's true that on the one hand, you could have higher moves, swings to the upside, but this gets priced in, right? It gets to the point where how do I say it? Where the amount of downside also proportionally raises. Like, stocks don't just go up 30%, then go to 50%. They will often spike, like the algo spikes are bigger. Like the algo spike will be, instead of like 20%, if it's anticipating that there's more volatility, it will instead spike at 30 or 40%. So your downside risk of getting rugged also goes up. I think it's proportional. BIF curling back up. I have 1,500 charts on this subject. Done a lot of backtesting on this, but yeah, I agree that, of course, the volatility is high, then more downside, but not proportional. Done lots of research on this. I mean, nah, you're good. You're good. I understand what you're saying. No, and I'm just like throwing out like hypotheticals, what I would expect. I'm not claiming that what I'm saying is truth, right? So if you're saying that your research says that the downside does increase, but it's not proportional to the upside, I could accept that challenge, right? Like I'm not claiming that they go up proportional. I'm just claiming that they could. Right, there's a difference. But yeah, if you're saying that your backtesting or whatever says otherwise, I could believe that. I've been with an offshore broker for years to avoid PDT, so I could trade as much as I wanted, and I still held losers from massive losses early on. The PDT rule will not help most traders cut early. Well, right. I mean, of course it wouldn't. The thing is with PDT, well, no, okay, no. I was going to argue something, but it doesn't check out. But I do agree with what you're saying, though. Like, on the one hand, I want to hold a trade longer because I have less day trades, but that's like a higher level that like most beginner traders aren't even at. So they're not even thinking like that. Yeah. Still haven't taken a trade. Your mentality has to change, yeah. Yep. Totally get you, bro. Cut losers early. Yeah, I agree, Bobby. 5 minutes to the top of the hour here. Looking like a red day for the trading captain. We'll see. But I have long since accepted the red day. Go ahead and do a poll here before we hit the top of the hour. PRZO popping up. Yeah, this one doesn't meet my criteria. No good. Chow ticker got sued, FYI. It could happen. It certainly could, Jeff. I feel glad about getting out of BIAF because it did end up curling back. So I am glad for that. Well, at least most people are green, looks like. Yeah, this Friday, it started super slow, but it did actually pick up around 8 a.m. Same as yesterday. This one's really pushing at 140. Super annoying. Last week was the last time I caught any meaningful move. You just woke up. Sorry you missed all the fun. We actually had a lot of stocks move today. I'm actually quite surprised. Check it out, Flip Flop. First red day. Red day, red day. Doesn't have the range you need. It's very, PRZO is very thick too. It's 21 million shares, so it is kind of thick. Isn't that a setup? First red day. Oh my god, guys, I can't believe it. It's my first red day with this new strategy. I can't believe it, guys. One loser out of every 8 trades. That's unacceptable. Back to the drawing board. All right, we're at the top of the hour here. I'll stick around for 5 minutes, see if anything pops up of interest. If I don't see anything, then I may end up just leaving early. And crying. Yeah, it's just basically went to touch 150 and started getting pushed back. Highest volume. The news is strong though. Like, you've got a lot of weird signals with this one. Daily chart looks fine. This does have the defense news catalyst, but it's also a higher float. Have this bearish candle. Yeah, there's mixed signals I'm getting for this one. I would disagree, flip-flop. I feel like BIAF has been incredibly strong. You had huge volume come in, and when we had this first pullback, I was up like $4 at the very depths of this pullback. But yeah, this had a low volume on these pullbacks, and it's just been, we're seeing the higher volume coming in on these big moves up. Looks strong to me. I mean, daily chart looks horrendous, but I'm surprised, and yeah, I think BIF is just stronger than I gave it credit for. No edge for you on tickers like PRZO. If they move like that, garbage. Yeah, I mean, sucks. It's like a cheaper stock too. Like, this is the lower end of what I would want to be trading. And it's just moving. It's just not moving enough. Yeah. Yeah, and I'm not like super honed in, but I think $2 to $8 is that my preferred range. That's where I prefer the stock be priced at. I'll go ahead and ask a poll here. Yeah, nice rug on Pure Zio. Riley, not really moving. Anyway, I'm curious what you guys have for this. What do you guys think of this? Honestly, I'm glad I got out of BIF now because this thing is holding up incredibly well. SGN curling. SGN is just really weird. Had a weird pump and dump. Market makers freaking love this tight garbage. Yeah. It's just a lot of people buying and selling to market makers. They're making like a penny per trader, but it adds up, right? A penny per share, I should say. Yes, so it actually looks like, to my surprise, the majority of people here like stocks between 1 and 5. So they don't like the 3 to 8. So like for me, I would say 3 to 8 of these ranges would be my preferred range. Right? Because if the stock is only $1 or $2, it tends to move slower. You're not able to capture as much range. And then likewise, whenever it gets to like 5 to 10, the spread gets too big. And then I feel like I start to have to worry about slippage, right? Because if you're ever forced to close and like cross the spread, you're going to take slippage. So I don't really like that either. But interesting to see that it's a pretty big majority likes 1 to 5. 2 to 3s is also okay depending on how it moves. I mean, I like to have at least minimum $1. It's got to be at least $1. I don't even really like to do $1 if I'm being honest. I prefer it being at least $2. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything else on the scanners here. So we're going to call it today. Red day. Big loser for me. Lost 370. I was nearly max loss. Like I was 2 pennies away. So super close to max loss. It would have been like an $8 or $9 loss. So the fact that I was able to catch part of this drawdown. Now, unfortunately, I got stopped out because of the 30-minute rule. Had I held a little longer, I could have actually gotten back to break even. I would actually been slightly green, believe it or not. But I'm happy that I followed my rules. This was just a stock that didn't work out. It was too strong, and I'm okay with that. I meant I trade anything but above $1. I used to always remove liquidity. Now I try to make sure I get the bid. In an instant winner, usually, it's if my read is good. Good to see you, Captain. Have a good day. Yeah, you as well, guys. I'll go ahead, wrap it up here. I'll be back Monday. I might make a video covering the week. I'm thinking about doing it. I'll go ahead. I'll make a video here. I'll do one more poll before I head out. I see we only have 24 left, so most people left, but I'll go ahead and make the poll for anybody who's still here. Recap. We'll just make it a simple yes or no. For you, those of you that are still here. I thought about doing daily recaps, but considering I don't even trade every day, I felt like that was kind of redundant. Okay, so most of you want a weekly recap. All right, so I'll make a recap for this week for the channel. I haven't really been posting because this new strategies, like I said, it's been slower. But yeah, I'll go ahead. I'll make a weekly recap for this. But yeah, you guys have a good weekend. Stay safe out there. I feel happy.